The single most important thing I want to share with you today is this. To achieve your goals, don't focus on them. I was brought up to believe that to achieve your goals, you must write them down, read them every day, and rewrite them every day. Make a vision board, keep looking at it, and eventually your goals will come to pass. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It doesn't work that way. Now, you're here for a reason, and that is because you want to achieve your goals. Well, forget about your goals. Yes, you heard me right. I'm going to tell you how to achieve your goals one step at a time. So let's jump right in. Welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talks podcast. I am Yomi Akinpelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so now. And with that said, let's begin the talk. Everyone wants to achieve big, hairy, audacious goals. Everybody wants a quick transformation of their lives. But what they fail to realize is that every action or lack of action, every input and every choice you make has already begun the process of transformation. We are transformed by what we do every day. What we are doing is what we are becoming. This is why focusing on some faraway goal is not half as important as focusing on the necessary actions that needs to be done right now. Your action today is what you are becoming. Your choices right now is what you are becoming. You cannot choose your future transformed state, but you can choose your current action, and the action you choose right now is shaping and transforming you into the higher and superior version of yourself. If you want to achieve your most outrageous goal, don't focus on the goal, focus on the action or the input that will help you achieve the goal. You will achieve your goals by taking your focus off the goal, but directing it onto the action and habit that is required to bring about the goal. Now that you know that you will not achieve your goals simply by focusing on them, then what is the purpose of a goal? The purpose of a goal is to show you a possibility, to show you what your life could look like if you put in the work. It shows you what you're walking towards. A goal gives you a general direction. It gives you an end point and possibly gives you an extra boost of motivation. However, having goals alone is not going to get you anywhere. To make goals happen, you've got to put in the work, concrete, well-defined actions, not nebulous acts of busyness, but definite input, which are visible, concrete, not actions buried under the label of being busy. Any action or goal you desire to achieve is simply a point along a timeline or spectrum of continuous repetition. Continuous repetition is what will take you to the goal and even past the goal. The input and daily actions must be real with a start time and end time. It must have a clearly defined process or operating procedure. The pattern must be consistent so it becomes a habit that can be repeated over time. And with time, it compounds to the point of becoming scalable. The daily input and actions must be distilled into a process that becomes automatic. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Just follow that process and it will produce measurable, concrete results. An essential question to ask yourself while carrying out the action is this: is doing this getting me a bit closer to my goal? If you cannot answer in the affirmative, then you need to ditch that action because it is not a value-adding, goal-oriented action. If you want to achieve your goals, you must focus on work that benefits the most from your input and give up other non-essential work. The input must be scheduled into every day. This must be done even when you don't see any results. Consistency builds discipline and patience, and these two are success traits that make you unstoppable. When you develop a consistent daily routine of doing the really important actions and getting in the input daily without fail, the goals really don't matter anymore. Your habits have turned you into the kind of person who achieves their goals. Winners and losers all have goals. It is the input that makes the difference. Most people have goals, so setting goals obviously is not the key to success. If setting the goal was the key to success, most people would be successful. A great example of the fact that the input, the action, and the habit is more important than the goal is the person who has a goal to be a millionaire. If he wins $1 million in the lottery, he has achieved his goal without the input, but he soon loses it all because he does not have the input or the habit that is needed to make, manage, and multiply the money. On the other hand, the person who accumulates the million by putting in the work will not likely lose it, and even if he does, he can make it back many times over. The difference is therefore not the goal. The difference maker is the daily input, the habits, and the concrete actions. So if you wanted to make $1 million, for example, don't focus on the million, focus on the action. Focus on doing the actions, the inputs that will take you to that goal. If you want to buy, let's say, a beautiful house by the lake with spectacular views, don't focus on the house. Focus on the input that will help you achieve that goal. Focus on the activities that will make the goal happen. Goals change. They can become bigger or smaller, but the activities, the input, the habits that are necessary to achieve that goal stay the same. The activities you would need to buy a house, for example, would be saving, consistent saving. So don't focus on the house, focus on the saving. Focus on making the saving automatic, month in and month out. And before you know it, you have what is needed for the house. Now, that habit has become automatic. And the goal is simply a point on the timeline or spectrum of continuous repetition of the habit of saving. Another example is trying to lose weight. If you put in the training, the exercise, you will achieve the desired weight as you continue to repeat the action day in and day out. One day at the gym won't change your weight, but if you continue with the input, you are moving in the right direction towards your desired weight. Once the trajectory is right, you are already being transformed as long as you keep up with the input. You will see that your desired weight, your goal to lose weight, is simply a point on the spectrum and timeline of the consistent habit of training, exercising, and eating healthy. So, don't focus on the goal, focus on the input, the habit, and the action. Don't focus on the goal of developing a six-pack. Rather, focus on the daily exercise and eating healthy. Don't focus on the goal of writing a book. Just focus on writing a few paragraphs daily. Don't focus on the goal of becoming a millionaire. Focus on saving and investing from every paycheck. Don't focus on going on the dream holiday. Focus on saving money monthly towards that holiday. Don't focus on the goal of having 100,000 subscribers. Just focus on making quality videos every week. Remember, the goal and the destination is just a point on the spectrum or the timeline of daily repetition. You don't know how many repetitions will be required, but you know you'll arrive at it because what you do repeatedly is who you are becoming. The way to become something is by doing something. Every time you practice a habit, you are becoming somebody new. Habits are the pathway to achieving goals. They are also the pathway to identity and mindset change. So if you can change the action, you can transform your life. Because the actions you take provide evidence of who you are. What you do consistently is who you believe you are, and who you become. So every action you take consistently is a vote for the person you want to become. If you want to become a new person, put in the necessary action, the relevant action, and the more votes you cast, the more likely you win the election. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become, says James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. So how do you make sure that you do the necessary actions to achieve your goal? I hear you ask. Number 1, design your environment to improve or enhance your chances of taking the right action. For example, if you want to eat healthy, position the healthy food, e.g. the kiwis, the bananas, on the kitchen table where you are likely to see it, and don't keep any junk food in your kitchen cupboard. If you want to go to the gym every morning at 6 a.m., then have your gym clothes laid out ready the night before. If you want to read more and watch less TV or reduce social media after work, place the books on the table where you'll see it or on your pillow where you can't miss it. Leave the TV remote or your phone in a different room. Set up your environment in such a way that it enhances follow through. If you want to learn to play a musical instrument, for example, place it in the middle of your living room where you can't miss it. Another way to enhance your consistency in the right habits is to introduce a reward system that tracks your progress and gives you a short-term boost or a pat on the back for your weekly input, a graph or a wall or desktop calendar that you can tick all the time you put in the daily actions. With consistency and repetition, you can change your identity and mindset, because the more you put in the right actions, the more you will see yourself change. So don't forget, most people have goals. Winners and losers all have goals. It is the input that makes the difference. So go achieve your goals today by focusing on the input, the actions, and the habits. Because every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. And that is a person who achieves their goals. Here is a summary of everything I've been talking about. The purpose of a goal is to show you a possibility, to show you what your life could look like if you put in the work. It shows you what you're working towards. A goal gives you a general direction and gives you an endpoint, and possibly gives you an extra boost of motivation. So goals are important. They are important. But a goal without action is just delusion. The goal doesn't transform you. It's the action, the input taken consistently that becomes a habit that transforms your life. It's the habit that transforms your life. It's the journey on the way to the goal that changes you into a person who fulfills that goal, who achieves the goal. You are not separated from your goals by a number of years or decades. You are separated from your goals by a number of actions, by input. And that is all for today. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next video.